Doc Leeson here, the podcasting beast from the East. Just here after some dreadful news last night. The guy who,
It was yesterday afternoon.
well, I didn't hear until last night. I mean, it was really sad either way. The guy who became one of the biggest icons in football post coaching career,
Mm-hmm.
John Madden, passes away at the age of 85. Legendary coach, legendary broadcaster. His
A
quotes
voice
and
of multiple
slogans,
of the voice of
oh,
multiple generations.
multiple generations. I remember playing Madden 96 and just hearing that boom, you know. Oh, wow. And here we are, 99,000 years later, still playing the game with all these scrub commentators.
Well, I mean, it's not what it used to be. We can
It's
at least
definitely
admit to
not.
that.
No,
But it's the fact that it has the brand of Madden behind
of
it
course, of
that
course.
makes us come back to play it for. Well, have Doc play it for more. I can't. I'm sorry, folks. I can't.
I've always loved it. I actually was playing it this morning. Actually, I just think that the game has evolved so much, and they it's like they take away things that you love and put in this crap that you don't really need. But definitely, you know, our prayers, our well wishes, our condolences to the Madden family tree. I'm sure it's pretty big. 85 years on this earth.
Yeah, he
Um,
lived a full life. Absolutely.
hmm
Absolutely.
but
To add a little
definitely,
satire behind it all. Doc,
oh,
all I wanted yesterday was for it to be Tuesday. And you was adamant to celebrate my birthday. And now this happened.
wow. I'm not gonna. You know what? That's not something that I'm going to warrant with a comment. But how was your birthday, sir?
It was the drizzling. It made me realize that you have to appreciate your morality and your mortality because you never know when it's going to end. And
You know what?
you have to also appreciate those that are close to you, even if they're not family. So I want to give a big shout outs to Doc here for the constant reminder that it is my birthday and I should be happy about it. So I do appreciate you, brother. I do love you as well too. Shout outs to your wife as well for the shout outs on Marco Polo hashtag. This is not an ad. This is not an ad. Shout outs to man downtown who also sent me a birthday
Oh
wish as well
God,
too. Um,
not
had a
that
chance
guy.
to watch a money grab movie. I thought it was pretty
Yo,
entertaining for what it was. Um,
that's what
I
got you in your
mean,
feelings, really. That movie.
no, no, I knew exactly what I was walking into.
Oh God.
Um, but woke up this morning and similar to Doc, who wants to take 2022 and make it his own. I just want to make the next 5 years my own too, and let's see if we can build something here. And even if it's me doing it by myself, I'll just do it. And that's
Do
all I got to say
it.
about that.
We appreciate you, man. Hopefully, others will learn to appreciate you. But if they don't, uh, as the Instagram post I sent you earlier said, you can't bring people up that don't want to go up. So you'll see
It's
that
not
video
so much
later.
as people wanting me to help them get up; they just want to take, and that's the issue that I have.
that
But
take is for them to go up.
we have some football news, some
Yes.
good, some bad, a
I mean, let's
lot of
start
it
with the building part,
questionable.
though, which is interesting that you said that.
Yes. You like those segues
Jaguars.
that I'm placing
No,
in.
that was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Jaguars looking to build upon the dismissal of Urban Meyer. They have requested permission to interview six coordinators. Of course, Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive and defensive coordinators, Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles. Dallas Cowboys offensive and defensive coordinator Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn.
Mm.
Indianapolis
Mm.
defensive coordinator, yeah, I know, Matt Eberflus, and Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett. I was not a huge fan of the Dan Quinn request.
I'm not a
I,
big fan of the Kellen Moore request either.
um, I mean,
For
I
head
don't know.
coach? For head coach?
I feel like, I feel like Kellen Moore. This is what his first year being a coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Jaguars would do a better job just hiring Jason Garrett. I mean, if we're being honest. Um, Not to say that Kellen Moore can't do it. I mean,
No, but
it, it's it's so early. Like you're
yes. And
you know
maybe he could surprise us. Like, I'm not trying to, disarm him or try to lower down his value, but I don't
yeah.
know.
And it's
Like,
like I
you're
said. I
like, he
mean,
plays with a franchise whose owner wants to take so much control, and I don't know. It's hard for me to want to. I don't know, man. I don't know. That
but
one doesn't sit right. But
but
something
the
that
other
doesn't sit
names
right with
though.
me though, something, and I'll let you finish with the other names in a second. But something that doesn't sit right with me. Where is Eric Bieniemy?
I feel like Eric Bieniemy. I want him to get a quality job. Like I don't want him to get a job that's. And maybe this is one of those situations where he doesn't want to be interviewed with the Jaguars because it's tough. Like I wouldn't like. Granted, I know getting the head coaching job is a big thing. It's only 32 of them, like we know it. But it's like you want an opportunity where you know you're going to succeed or have some opportunity to succeed.
Okay, I was like, because
It,
success isn't guaranteed. It's really hard to say
it is, but
that.
you would have to make sure. Now, granted, the Jags they seem like the type of organization that's they want to win, they want to turn it around. The general manager, the ownership, it seems like they're really invested into it.
Hmm.
So this could be a clean slate. I mean, obviously you're going in behind a really, really bad regime, which is the reverse of going in, behind a legendary coach, right?
Absolutely.
Um, but I mean, when I look at some of the other names, Doug Peterson, Jim Caldwell, these are guys that came in and can change the culture of a team. I kind of like the
Absolutely.
Peterson.
Which,
I
just
kind
as
of
an
like the Peterson
FYI,
idea.
Eric Bieniemy is being considered, according to DraftKings Nation, for the Raiders head coaching job. But they also said the same thing about the Jaguars one, so I don't know how dependable they are.
Yeah. So
But
I
yes,
I
I
could
think
see
the
Eric
Doug
Bieniemy
Peterson
and the
would be pretty
Raiders.
good.
Only reason if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I wouldn't want to. I mean, I wouldn't want to play the Chiefs. I mean, I just wouldn't want to stay in the same division as the Chiefs. Um, I would want to go far away because you're always gonna be tied to it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
Like go
the
somewhere else.
the announcer's always gonna end up tying
True.
them back.
Right.
So it's not really much you
Exactly.
can do about it, especially if your team is facing off against the Chiefs. Like, well, he's part of the Andy Reid coaching tree, and da 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 da. And will he win it? And here's the record
Wow.
of all the former coordinators underneath.
Right. 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 That part. Now I will say this. I think for Eric Bieniemy, wherever he goes, he has to make sure he has that speed receiver. So if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm looking out for the Minnesota Vikings job.
I think
Um,
him going to the Vikings would be a godsend for that
yeah,
franchise.
if he goes to the Vikings, he got Mr. Greedy himself out there. All this,
Ladies
greedying.
and gentlemen, Doc is doing the gritty live on air. This
Oh
is
my
happening.
God! If Eric Bieniemy takes over the Vikings, I think that'd
You
be a
know
great
what?
opportunity.
If Eric Bieniemy does that, Doc has to do the gritty for Instagram. I
I
like
can't
that
do the
idea.
greedy. I can't do the
I
greedy,
like
man.
that idea. Let us,
Let's
you know
see.
what? I'm not gonna ask the folks. That's gonna happen. If Eric Bieniemy gets the Vikings head coaching job, Doc is gonna do the gritty for the gram.
Looks like the NFLPA is discussing potential changes to the COVID-19
He's going glaze over there.
Oh God, Doc leads into the gritty, ladies and gentlemen. That's just as bad as everything else going on. A record 106 players were placed on reserve COVID-19 list on Monday alone.
Yep, it was over
Um,
400, almost 500 now in the last 10 to 5 days.
yes.
It's a lot.
So earlier this month, the NFL updated its COVID-19 policy to allow vaccinated individuals to test out of protocols more quickly. Yeah, that's no good. Um,
It's not. It's
yeah,
not.
unvaccinated. So unvaccinated players currently must miss 10 days if if they test positive for the virus. I'm just not sure, man.
Again, this goes, and of course, it was asked during the Pat McAfee show yesterday. I'm not going to use it as a reference, but
Mhm.
Aaron Rodgers was like, "This is kind of what I was talking about. Like,
Yeah,
vaccination didn't really work out. People who are fully vaccinated are getting COVID now. People who
right.
aren't vaccinated and didn't have COVID prior to the season beginning now has it again. Like,
And this
and
is
this
kind
is
of
this
looking
is all about that
real.
real like NBA last year.
No, this is looking
Not last year, 2
real
years ago.
elite football league-ish, man, where
It is.
the stars are gone, and you got nothing but young players
I
and
mean,
rookies left. Because Ian
obviously,
Book is an EFL player.
Roger Goodell had the opportunity to watch some EFL games,
All
and
right. Oh my God,
he was like, you know what, this thing is an absolute gold mine. But how can I
gold
have
mine.
the people? Yes, you, the people, to tune into some EFL action. You know what? Unleash Corona Chan and let's have
Yeah.
some EFL football. Shout outs to John Madden.
Right.
Rest in peace.
So yeah, yeah. So just some notables here. We got obviously, Sean Murphy Bunting and Jamel Dean were placed on. Mike Evans, obviously, head coach Bruce Arians placed on. Then we had Carson Wentz placed on, and the
Yep.
Colts are in such disarray that they reached out to freaking Philip Rivers. I mean, my goodness,
I
Johnny Philip
mean,
Rivers.
I mean, I can't fault them. This is week 17. They're trying to clinch a playoff spot.
And
They
they got
still
to
have an outside chance of winning the division still. I mean,
so you
you
bring a
need something
guy
to
who
happen.
hasn't played in 20 weeks. I mean, let Sam Ellinger do it. You gotta hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor 40 times and just let him ride. Let
Let
it
it
ride,
ride.
right? Yeah, let it ride. Like, I mean, throw some short passes in
It
there.
sounds real 21. Letting it ride.
Right. Let it ride. Hand that ball off. Obviously they got a tough game, but let it ride, man. Hand that ball off to Taylor, throwing a couple play actions, throw some screens, hit Ty on some quick passes, and get out of there.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
I mean, well, we'll
But
see what happens because week 17 is coming up soon. And I mean, there's going to be a lot of movers and shakers. We got people who are about to get eliminated. And, we have teams that are just trying to establish their dominance, quote unquote, because I mean, let's real quickly, Doc. Has there been a team this year? And no, I don't want you to be yourself when it comes to the Bucks. I just want you to be honest.
wow, myself.
Has there been a team this year that has been truly dominant? Because I don't think so.
No, a lot of teams have scored the bye on some games. I think the closest team would be the Packers, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, if we're looking just at the scores and not by the gameplay, I mean, you could throw the Cowboys in there. Again, if you're looking by the scores and not the
Yeah.
gameplay.
Well, we're not casuals, so I
Right.
not trying to disrespect our casual listeners out there, but
So the
we don't
answer
just
is
look at the
no. I
scores.
mean, the Super Bowl is wide open. Anybody can go in and take it. The matchups, the matchups are what's going to draw, the Super Bowl this year. Because like you think about it, the Bucks versus any of those other NFC teams, with the exception of maybe like the 49ers, because we haven't played the 49ers.
Yep.
But Bucks versus Rams, they might beat us free, but they don't have Deshaun Jackson this time, so that might help. But OBJ could get over the top. You got, Green Bay Packers. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean,
And Green Bay
it
Packers is
depends on what.
still without their best offensive lineman, one of their
True.
best linebackers, and I believe
That's
one of
true.
their safeties who was hurt too. And
So,
I mean, and they still
so
looking
this,
really, really good. Rasul Douglas has, looked absolutely awesome.
so this is where it kind of comes back to where I said yesterday off the stream. I was like, man, like we have to really get ready
Yep.
just in case the Cowboys actually make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We
Mm,
have to get ready.
no, I
But
have
speaking
to
of
get
being
ready
hot
for
here,
that.
yeah, because there's gonna be a big parade and it's gonna be
It's
marching right
it's
down your
already a
street.
big parade because they're making it to the playoffs.
Oh my God! But let's go here to the David Carr All Rookie team of this season. This is the oh no, this
This
is
is
just
just the
player rankings
offense.
from week 7. This is from week 17, or is this for the whole season?
This is this is for
The
this is
week
his all rookie team for the year.
for the year?
For the
Okay,
year.
okay. So that quarterback he has Mac Jones, obviously.
Who else was
That's
he going to put?
yeah. I don't even know who else could even. Nobody else has
Thank you.
really done anything. Yeah. For running back, Javante Williams, who has been running right next to his running mate Melvin Gordon. I mean, not too many rookie running backs outside of the next Najee Harris.
Who's pretty much been
Who
everything for the Steelers offense, honestly. Like, let's just be
yeah,
honest about that.
I think Harris is going to thrive in a new quarterback regime. Obviously, we got here Jamar Chase, who's actually, really, really clicking. Him and Joe Burrow, you know,
It
have
was
a
almost
really
like,
good chemistry.
they're still in college with the amount of passes that they've been completing with each other.
Exactly. Jalen Waddle, as I mentioned yesterday, leads all rookies at 96 receptions. And like I said, it's close to breaking some rookie records.
Yep.
I think he just needs 5 catches to break Anquan Bolden's rookie record of 101. And then I think he needs one or two more 8 catch games to pass Jerry Rice. So that's
Yes.
pretty sweet. Kyle Pitts, I mean, he's the only rookie.
Remember when they were like, man, that was a terrible pick.
Like I said yesterday, that was me. Not terrible. I just felt like he wasn't worth a top 15 pick. Like I would have traded down for him, in the later rounds, but when I look at some of the other receivers, I just didn't think he was top 15, but he proven me wrong. I know he's got the heart because he went out there despite being hurt in that bowl game or that championship game,
It was a
and they had to
championship
sit
game.
him
Yep.
down. Kyle Pitts, obviously, the only bright spot for the Falcons right now. I
Outside
don't
of
even
Cordero
know.
Patterson.
He's the only bright spot on the Falcons right
The
now.
Cordero Patterson hate is real, folks.
Yeah. Center Creed Humphrey from the Chiefs. They needed help offensively. So him
Yep.
and Trey Smith helping the Chiefs, regain that,
Yeah, and
what.
it took a few games. Like, we knew what was going to happen with a new offensive line. Like, it took a few games, but once they
Yeah.
finally found their groove, I mean, now we kind of seen the results, folks.
Boom. Elijah Vera Tucker, highly sorted coming out of college USC. The Jets needed a freaking lineman. and they got one. They just have to piece the rest of the line together,
Yep.
stay healthy, and I really just think it's just a matter of them just growing and getting better. I don't know if this quarterback is the right guy. Let's see what happens next season. I know he's been hurt,
It's
but we'll
really
have to
hard
wait and see.
because like the ownership wants them to like win now, but they don't have the pieces to
Hmm.
win now, and
They
that's
don't have the pieces.
kind of the problem with them.
Hmm. Next, you got offensive lineman here, offensive tackle Rashawn Slater from the Chargers. Um, very, very impressive season.
Yeah, he played really really well.
And Justin Herbert has been able to, have some time in the pocket to really find his players. So it's been pretty awesome. And rounding off, Penei Sewell from the Lions,
From the
excuse me,
Lions,
from
absolutely.
Oregon, been a beast. 87.1 run blocking grade. Obviously 6'5", 331-pounder is impressive.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like he's definitely improved. Obviously, he's a rookie, just like like I said last season when we got freaking Tristan Wirth.
You were so
I
happy.
said, I'm telling you, I was like, I've always wanted an Iowa lineman. Like, I would just watch Iowa and Wisconsin linemen just fly out the board. I'm like, oh my God, I want one of those guys. But Penei Sewell is putting Oregon on the map as a place where linemen can thrive. Because usually with Oregon, it's like, they're agile, they do run that zone scheme, so it's like he's putting a stamp on Oregon's ability to develop linemen, which is awesome.
Yeah, I do agree.
Uh,
I think this is a pretty solid list. Of course,
yeah,
I
it
can't
is.
wait to find out the true list when it comes out, but I figured we should at least acknowledge a list
Of
that happens.
course. Of course. But Johnny, let's move over to this hardwood really quickly here because
Sure.
King LeBron James has become the number 3 all-time scorer. 36. Actually, he's obviously the third player to reach 36,000 points. So I mean, he's number 3. He's been number 3 in scoring. Actually, he's just surpassed the 36,000 threshold. Um,
Really? Because the way that people kept talking, they made it sound like he was the all-time leader in scoring, period. But that
so I'll
they
say
with the way that
this.
they were on their knees showing their appreciation to their king.
So I'll say this. I'm not even gonna respond to that part of it. I'll say this. LeBron has reached 36,000, and looking at the top 2 players, obviously Kareem and Carl, the mailman, alone. LeBron has reached 36,000, and I guess this is why it's so impressive. He's reached 36,000 in less games. Less games than
Okay.
Kobe. You know, actually, he reached 36,000 and less game than Kobe reached 33. And I don't know if he has 1,560 games in him left in his career. Because I think that's the other way he'll be able to pass these other guys. I don't think he'll. I mean, we're talking about Malone, maybe. I think Malone, he might be able to score, 927 points before this season ends. Possibly. Possibly. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know
I
with the
mean, he's
way
been
that
in and
he's
out of the
been.
lineup.
I mean, he's been playing. I mean, people are saying, "Well, he's playing like he's back when he was 23 years old." Here's the problem:
I don't think
we
so.
keep talking about Father Time and Father Time being undefeated, but everyone wants the Lakers to win. They're gonna keep putting these little nuggets out there, keep throwing these little. Oh well, he's the third person to pass 36,000 points. But they're not looking at how the Lakers are playing. The entire roster is in disarray.
Mm, that's
Russell
funny.
Westbrook
Westbrook.
is playing like a shell of himself.
Yeah, he really
which
is.
unfortunately is a compliment.
Oh God, he really is though. It's really, really bad. I'll agree with that.
and
It's
and and
really,
we're
really bad.
sitting here talking about, oh, LeBron still needs to do more. The whole reason why they gathered this team is so LeBron could coast through the regular season, get into the
Mm,
playoffs, and then play the way he's playing right now. This is LeBron
yeah.
playing his last year in Cleveland again,
Yikes.
and now he is vulnerable because he has injuries now.
Yeah, big time fact. Yeah,
He
he didn't
he
have those injuries
he
before.
didn't have those injuries before. Yes, he puts in buku money into his body.
Hmm.
But guess what? He's now running up and down the floor more. He's now having to exert so much more effort because his
That I
team
can agree
isn't
with.
isn't matching up to his pace. Not even a quarter of his pace. They're just like, well, we have LeBron James. We good. So we got King James on our side. We good. And then he gets
Wow.
hurt. And then now
Pretty
people
much.
want to blame the rest of the team when he gets hurt or when they lose.
Oh,
And that's
I
my issue,
see.
folks.
I can understand that. I can understand that. Yeah, no complaints here. But you want to know that's something that else got me that I thought was pretty funny, and maybe you might find this to be funny as well, and then we'll get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Curry hit his 3,000th three, I think today
Yeah, it was
or
last night.
yesterday. Um, I was
Trust me, I
surprised.
know because that's all I kept seeing for notifications.
I was so surprised though to see even a guy that shoots, lights out from the free throw line, shoots up all these threes,
Mm-hmm.
usually leads the team in scoring. He's actually 60th on the scoring list.
Yeah,
I'm so surprised at that. I thought he would have been a little higher.
no,
Um, but shout out to him. Actually, shout out to some of the people in the top 40. Kevin Durant, top 40. James Harden and Russell Westbrook are already in the top 40 scorers of all time. That's amazing. So only five players are in the top 40 right now. Of course, LeBron, Carmelo, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook.
that's pretty good. That was
The
pretty good. I
aforementioned.
like that.
Yeah. Um, that's awesome. That's awesome. But I mean, top 50, Chris Paul, Joe Johnson now, who's reactive, of course, due to the EBA, right? Elite Basketball Association, coming to
No,
fruition.
no, Joe
Right?
Johnson is not EVA level, man. We both know Joe Johnson is still a baller.
That guy's taking EBA at this point because that age would have him probably 72 in 2K right now. Maybe less.
Like
And
the
LaMarcus
way
Aldridge, of
that
course.
people, again, this is all about, people are calling people washed, but they're not really washed.
Yeah, that's the people at 2K, folks. But Johnny, I know the people heard this podcast on their favorite podcast platform, but if they didn't, they can always go to www.happybelatedbirthday2johngotti.com. Once again, that's www.debateamongstfriends.com to review this episode as well as all the previous. Be sure to tune in mañana as we go over the Thursday night football preview, as well as give you the news, the analysis, and the reads.